this is going to be like the last time, and now I have to say goodbye to them.
You got Michael and Camilla, and then there's Raphael. In 2018 we had Ariel. Our love is real, it feels surreal. Subscribe to our channel and enjoy the thrill. A typical day in the Noble's household. We come from London where it's always cold. Daddy has to change the baby's bum bum, whilst mommy has to soothe Raphael's tum tum. Things are crazy as you can tell. At the end of everything it ends all well. The Nobles. The Nobles.
Hola familia, tudo bem? How are you? And welcome back to our channel. As you can see, I am alone. Today's video is going to be quite personal to me. It's going to be about my story, my journey. I'm quite nervous to share this with you because the only people that really know about it are my family and some friends. I've never really actually spoken about it out loud. And I hope that you enjoy it. I say enjoy, but it's close to my heart. I'm hoping that it will reach out to maybe someone who might have gone through a similar situation as me, or you might know someone who is going through the same thing as me, or even not even the same as me, maybe even something similar, or who's tackling an illness that they feel like they can't come out of, basically. So I'm just hoping that this video will do something for you, as it did to me and the loved ones around me. So throughout the video, by the way, I am going to insert images and videos just so you can share the same journey as I did, and so you can visualize it as well. If you want to hear my story, keep on watching. So everything began in April 2013. I was living a normal life. I was going to the gym, I was working full-time, I was meeting friends, family, I was in a relationship at the time as well. And everything was fine, everything was normal. And then one night, I woke up with a headache. Not a normal headache, it was like a really powerful one. It was so strong. And then I was just like, that's strange. I've never had that before, because I've never like suffered migraines. I've never been one to have headaches. And I'm feeling like really dizzy. Like dizzy to the point, you know when you are spinning and spinning and then you stop spinning and then like the whole room is like moving and you're just like, wow. Like it was properly spinning. I managed to get up and then I went to work. And my manager at the time like looked at me and he was like, are you okay? And then I said no. And I work with computers, and I remember I was upstairs and I couldn't focus properly, like the whole screen was just going white. I think it was around like 10 AM. So I went home, I spoke to my mum and I told her how I was feeling, and she said, I think you need to go to the GP, which is my doctor's. They basically diagnosed me with vertigo. Vertigo is a symptom that basically makes you feel like the whole room is spinning. And I was like, that makes sense. I have vertigo. It is something that I'm going to have to accept and I'm going to have to live with. So the whole thing lasted for 3 weeks. And I was off for 3 weeks, by the way, because my job involves me looking at the computers. As I said, I have to interact with customers, I have to walk up and down, and I just couldn't do it, so they signed me off for 3 weeks. Fast forward into December 2015. I had met Michael that year. When I say met, I meant officially met, as in me and him spoke, because we used to see each other before, but we never spoke. I never knew his name, he never knew my name. However, in November 2015 is when we officially met. A few days after Christmas, leading up to New Year's Eve, I woke up, same headache. However, this time it was a lot heavier, to the point where I almost wanted to cry. That's how bad it hurt. I opened my eyes and the room was spinning again. And I was like, oh, and I was like, I'm going to have to take time off work again, probably around the same time, and it just felt like an inconvenience. So it was New Year's Eve. It was having a party, as you guys have seen in our previous video. We always like celebrate New Year's Eve with a party, and I invited a few friends round as well. I was sitting downstairs and all my friends were like concerned because I look like, you could see there was something wrong with me. I'll insert a picture so you guys can see what I look like. I was just like, I looked dead. I just wasn't myself, and everyone could see that. And I remember my mum made me something to eat, and I ate it, and boy, I should have not eaten it, because the way I reacted to it, I was just coughing and coughing, and it made me throw up. And then I just went upstairs to my room, and my sister called. So in the UK we have this number which is 111. Just before you have to call the ambulance, which is 999, you call 111 and you speak to someone and you tell them your symptoms, and they kind of walk you through it. And if you need to go to the hospital, they will say, okay, go to the hospital. If not, they might assist you to something else, depending what your symptoms are. This doctor, he comes over to my mum's house, and he was doing some examinations on me, and he said, I think you need to go to the hospital. So me and Michael go to the hospital, and all I kept thinking was, I just want to be at home with my family and friends, and I just want to count down, and I just wanted a simple New Year's Eve. However, that wasn't the case. So we go to the hospital, and we're waiting there for quite a long time. If you guys are from the UK, you know the NHS, you can take forever. And I said to Michael, I think I just want to go home. We ended up going back home, and I was just like, in my mind, I was just like, everything's going to be okay. This time my mum was like, I don't think we're going to just leave it down to vertigo, because, and I'll tell you why. So my symptoms this time round, I had a headache, the room was spinning, my left side of my body was numb, I was constantly coughing, and my voice went. My mum was like, it can't be vertigo, because the other things that started happening this time round was more severe. You booked an appointment. The lady that I met, she was quite concerned, and she was like, this is the second time it's come back, but this time it's a lot worse. So the woman was like, I think you need to go to the hospital and request for a brain scan. So I was just like, oh, Mum, I think it's going to go. I think it's the same thing as last time. Maybe this time I just have like different symptoms, and it's okay, it's going to go. And Mum was like, no, Cam, like, we need to get this seen. So we go to the hospital, and the man that I see was doing some examinations on me, and he just said, I think you're fine. Bless her, my mum didn't take that for an answer. She was like, no, I think we need to see someone. She needs to have a CAT scan so we can see what's inside her brain, to see if there's anything there. This other lovely lady, I think she was Philippine, came to us, and my mum was telling her my symptoms. Luckily, this woman she was very interested to find out what was wrong. So I go in for a CAT scan. I'm waiting. At the time it was just me and my mum, and then later Michael came, and then my sister came, and they put me in like this room where I was like sharing with like a few other people.
I'm chilling here waiting for my MRI result, because they found something but they don't know what it is.
Okay, so in the place where it's not flooded, it's full off. Yep.
Waiting time, TikTok.
So we're waiting in this room for the results of the CAT scan, and the lady comes. She's like smiling, but I can see in her eyes that there's something there. And she's like, okay, so we found something in your brain. My heart just dropped. Can't explain the way I felt when I heard her say those words. We have found something in your brain. We're not sure what it is. It looks like a tumor, but we're not sure. When she said that, my whole body just collapsed. It was literally like so silent, you could hear a pin drop. And all I heard in my head was tumor. And my grandparents died from cancer, and I was like, I have cancer in my brain. She was stressing to me not to be concerned, and that they're not 100% sure because a CAT scan is not enough for them to see what it was. So she said that they're going to have to transfer me to another hospital who specialize in neurology. So they have all the equipments, they have the correct doctors who, as I said, specialize in brains. As soon as she left, I couldn't control myself. I just started to cry because I felt so helpless. And all that time I was telling myself that I was fine and that it was going to go away. And here comes the doctor telling me that she found something in my brain and she didn't know what it was. And I just felt so scared. And Michael was hugging me and he was telling me that everything was going to be okay. I knew it wasn't. I just felt it in my body that I couldn't control it. And I was trying so much to tell myself that everything was fine and it was going to go away, and it was the same thing as that happened to me in 2013. And they moved me up into another room now where I'm going to stay until a free bed becomes available in the other hospital. At this point I've just stopped fighting basically because I knew there was something wrong. Now we're in the beginning of January. My older sister was still here from Cyprus. The day came when she had to leave. My whole family came to the hospital. I had to go down to the canteen because children are allowed to come up in the room. Michael's there again, bless him, and he stayed there like every single day. Anyway, so the hospital have these like wheelchairs, but they're not, and basically he wheeled me to the canteen and they were all there. So it was my sister, my two sisters, her husband, the kids, and my mum and Michael. My brother came to see me later because he was working, and obviously my dad was in Brazil. And I was just trying to keep a brave face, and in my mind all I kept thinking was, this might be the last time that I'm going to see them, and that I have to say goodbye to them. Because all I kept thinking was that I have cancer in my brain and they're not sure, but I know that I do because my mum passed away from cancer. So I was just like thinking the worst. And then family means like everything to me, as you guys know. And to see all of them there just like broke my heart. And I was trying to be so brave. And you can see like the concern of everyone. Like I could see in my mum's eyes, I can see in my sister's eyes. And I had to say goodbye because it was getting late and they had the kids with them. That was a hard time. I'm sitting in a chair and I'm hugging everyone. And Michael wheels me upstairs and I just break down. I'm laying on a hospital bed with Michael. I was just like, oh, what's wrong with me? Why do I have this in my brain? Why do I have to say goodbye to my family? And I was laying in the bed with the man who I fell in love with. And that night I just stayed with Michael in his arms, just crying. So a few days pass and a bed becomes available in this other hospital. And my mum is with me. And they put me in this room with 3 other patients. It was coming to the 2nd week of January 2016. I have like many MRI scans, and then a few days pass and the doctor, Dr. Dimitri, I still remember him, he was my surgeon. So he comes to the room and he says that he's got my results. He says, we know what's inside your brain and it's called cavernoma. I just feel relieved that I didn't hear cancer, but at the same time I'm like, what is cavernoma? And he explains it to me. So I'm going to tell you guys what cavernoma means, just in case you don't know. And I'm going to read it because I don't want to get anything wrong. A cavernoma is a cluster of abdominal blood vessels, usually found in the brain and spinal cord. They're sometimes known as cavernous angiomas. Oh Lord. Yeah. But a typical cavernoma is like a raspberry. I will insert a picture so you can see the size that mine was. The position that I had my cavernoma was in my brainstem. The doctor said to me, explains my symptoms, because the position that it was, it affects my speech, it affects my walking. It's crazy. I had this thing in my brain made me react like that. So now that we know what I had, he said you have 3 options. Option 1 was to leave it and they will monitor it. Because it was the second time that it's happened to me, he wouldn't recommend leaving it. Then the second option was to have laser. They will try and laser it out. I think he said that laser is not, it's not guaranteed to remove it. And then the third option was to have brain surgery, and that will have a 10% chance that the cavernoma will come back. And all I kept thinking was, brain who? Brain surgery? Those were the 3 options that I had. So I speak to my family, we have a discussion of what the best option will be. I had to go with brain surgery. January 15th, 2016, I went into surgery and it lasted 7 hours. The night before, I was scared. I was so afraid of, what if it doesn't go? I don't know, like say something goes wrong and I don't wake up. The day of the surgery, I go in and I remember they put me to sleep, and I come out and I remember I had like loads of tubes. I had a mask over my face. I remember waking up and I saw my mum. Oh, my mum, she was literally there every single day. Thank you, Mum. I love you so much. And I was so cold. I remember her asking for another blanket because I was like shivering. And the doctor asked me my name, why I was there, and the date to see if I answered correctly. My brother came in and he just started crying, and I started crying. Obviously they've known me to be this healthy person who goes to the gym, who gets up every day to go to work. It was a hard time, guys. I go into intensive care. That was a hard time. Although the doctor removed the cavernoma, the room wasn't spinning anymore. Thank you, Dr. Dimitri, for removing my cavernoma. So I'm in intensive care. I have just literally this tube. I have a tube here. I have a tube on the back of my head, and I have wires just everywhere. Anyway, and I just remember at night time I would cry, because if you can imagine, yeah, you're living normal life, active, socializing, you're just living a happy life, and then all of a sudden you don't have that anymore. I lost my confidence. Fast forward to recovery, I had to learn how to walk again and had to like balance again on one leg. Believe it or not, I actually forgot how to tell time. I had to recover and try to get back into my normal self again.
Be careful with that catheter of yours, yeah?
I can imagine what you're going to do when you get to the house. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna tidy my room.
You're gonna hide there? Lock yourself up?
No. Go to the gym.
The gym? You see what the doctor said.
Towards the end of January 2016, I get sent home. Michael was with me. Can you believe, yeah, Michael would come every day to come and see me. Put in mind that he was working full time, and he will come to the hospital after work, then he will go to the gym, and the same routine every single day. I love you, baby. So the day I get sent home, I'm packing all my things, and I met this lovely nurse called Avril. I still keep in contact with her. She made my journey in the hospital worthwhile. Yeah, and then I go home. So now it's February 2016. There were times I used to speak to Michael and I'll just be like to him, I don't know if I can do this. It's just really hard, like, to go back to normal life again. It was me battling with myself saying, I can't do this anymore. And I lost a lot of weight. And when I looked in the mirror, I was just like, ugh, like I hated who I saw.
I thought today I'll do this video because I had a happy day. I felt happy today. Then I felt sad because I'm just scared of the changes that has happened since the surgery, and it's kind of left me a bit insecure. And I guess it's okay to feel this way. I'm just praying that I can just get back to normal again. I just wanted to make this video just so you can see different stages after surgery. Sometimes you feel happy, sometimes you feel sad.
So anyway, at the time I was doing a lot of self-meditation. So at night time I would listen to meditation music and I would just do self-affirmations. So I'll be like, you are strong, you are beautiful, you are amazing, and you can do this. And I just kept telling myself these things that I needed to tell myself to heal. It was a hard time in terms of like just recognizing who I was as this new person, having to live with basically what happened to me. It was hard. A few weeks after, I was like, right, but F this, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. And I was like to my mum, we are going to climb the O2. If some of you don't know what the O2 is, it's an arena that has events, that has restaurants, that now they have, I think, a shopping part inside it somewhere. However, you can climb the O2.
Just climbed the O2. I'm tired. But yeah, that's our house, I think, isn't it, Mummy? You have to go back that way.
There's nothing in this world that I cannot do, okay? I've gone through brain surgery. I know there are worse things in the world to go through, but for me, that's the worst thing that I've ever gone through, and hopefully that is the worst thing that I will ever go through. But I did not want to allow this new life of mine to defeat me. So I was like, I'm going to tackle you heads on and I'm going to climb it. And we did, and it was fun. It was cold, but even on to March 2016, we found out we was having Raphael.
So today is the 5th of March 2016.
That's correct, yes.
And look, pregnant 2 to 3 weeks. So you're 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks, yay! I'm excited. Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna start making videos to
this is your journey and our journey.
We love you even though you're not here yet. Bye.
Ciao.
So obviously 2 months in hospital, we was not active, if you know what I mean. When I felt a bit better, you know, we was getting jiggy with it, oh, we were both ready to start a family. My doctor gives me the clear go ahead sign, whatever it is, and basically they just said that it's not going to affect my pregnancy and I can still carry a baby. I slowly just started to get back into my normal self. So I went back to full-time work, I went back to going to the gym, and I am now married with 2 children. Let me see if I can show you the scarf. You can see here, it's basically, it was this big. Thank you for watching this video. I just wanted to share that with you because I want you to understand what I've gone through and the reason why I am who I am today. If you know someone who is going through a really hard time and they feel like there's no way out, maybe share this video with them so they can hear my story and be inspired by it. Life throws things at you that you think that you might not be able to get out of, but you can. All it takes is for you to tune in with yourself, because your brain is a very powerful tool. Self-meditate if you can. If you don't believe in self-meditation, read books, go on YouTube and find self-meditation videos. listen to music. I think it's just about tuning in with yourself and understanding who you are as a person, and love yourself. I did not love myself when I was going through that, and I wish I did, because I think it would have helped me a lot. I have to love me in order for me to love you, and in order for you to love me too, because if I don't love myself, you're not going to love me. If you have any questions, comment down below. I will be more than happy to answer them. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.